Hey, Bill, did you ever think at 97 years old you'd be
Yeah.
still doing this? Did you ever think at 97 you'd still be doing this?
Yeah. I figured I would be till I died.
There you go.
That's,
How often do you get to ride these horses? Almost every day?
yeah. When the weather's right, I don't ride anymore. Just to be a riding, you know.
Yeah.
But no riding here. All right, I ain't gonna do nothing
Good boy.
drastic with him.
Yeah, it's way up under there.
Okay, we'll put it back where you had it then.
Yeah.
What happened?
Good boy.
Tire?
How am I doing, Bill?
You're doing good. Look good.
I got a good horse.
Yeah. Well, let's just walk him around here a little, let you get used to him.
Yeah.
Come on. Best way to get one to go is that. Can you do that?
Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. This way. Come here. Come on. Should my feet be further up in the stirrups? Is that okay right there? Should my feet?
Well, I never put mine in very far because I don't want to get hung up on one of them.
In case you need to.
My dad always made me put mine in up here. I noticed a lot of boys nearly overrun them from up to their heels, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that.
You keep them on the toes of your feet more?
Yeah. I want them where if horse falls or something, or I fall off,
You can
my
get
foot
out.
ain't gonna hang up my stirrup.
Yeah.
That's the funniest feeling there is.
Yeah.
Be upside down and
Horse.
horse running.
Yeah. Whoa. 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 Good boy. Good boy. This is a whole different lifestyle out here.
Yeah, you can get plenty of it here. And this ain't nothing compared to where I was raised, you know, down there mountains. All them country roads, and all them outside range.
Service and
And there's a difference between a $100,000 horse and a $700 horse.
Man, that other horse he was on, he got him there, didn't he? Wow.
Don't come any better.
I wasn't recording on that one.
I had to make sure he ran.
So let me get this straight. You were the very first man off of your landing craft, and quite possibly the very first man on Omaha Beach on D-Day.
Possibly. I'm smart enough to know that there was others getting off somewhere all down that
Down the
line,
beach,
you
yeah.
know, at the same time. But for what we call supposed to be an easy green beach, I was the first man on it
Hmm.
and the first one across. There wasn't nothing. And all of these men that was following me, most of them was out of the first division. We were attached to the first division. Now I don't think we get the recognition now that we should, on account of we were attached to the first, and the first they always mention the first division,
Mm-hmm.
what the first division done, you know. Well, they didn't do it all by themselves.
Yeah, you know.
We was helping them, but still we wasn't mixed up with the 29th at that time.
What was your job as a soldier? What was your job? What were you?
Well, to start with, I was leader of the war cutters.
Okay.
And of course, I was just a private. Oh, he's all privates. That was the first job I had. I don't know. It seemed to me like I was always in the wrong place at the wrong time because I was out front most of the time. Of course, after going across the beach and didn't get shot at, got shot at but didn't get hit,
Mm-hmm.
I got it into my mind the best thing you can do is get across that. Anytime we attacked it, I attacked it first. And I got across as soon as I could get.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, and when I got a platoon, some of them was pushers. They'd stay back and like you was pushing, you know. I went first. My platoon followed me. I don't think it was because I was that brave or nothing, but I'd already had it in my mind that's
You were going to be the
the
first one.
best way to get there was first.
The day that you went back to that pillbox, you said something to that German. Do you remember what you said?
Well, I did.
Said something to the effect of like, "You didn't get me."
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, I think I told him that you didn't get me. But he come awful close to it.
Yeah.
And one night there, it's getting dark, and it's cold, and we knew that we had to go inside. And I went in this building just to see if we could stay there. It was kind of an auditorium type deal. And I'd seen it was all right. But I seen way down in the end, I seen a man down there. It's kind of silhouetted up against the window, you know. And I hollered at him, and I said, I knew he couldn't understand what I said, but they knew enough to know that.
You were there.
And I said, throw up your hands and turn around. And he didn't do nothing. And I hollered at him a second time. He didn't do nothing. And I just up with that .45, and I shot his head off. I seen it fall off. Well, I went down to see what I'd done, you know. I got down there, and I'd shot Hitler. It was a chalk bust of him.
Statue.
Anyway, after that, why, every time my men got a chance, they'd say, "This is Sergeant Parker, shot Hitler." But something was going on, Austin.
Tell me about the time your M1 didn't fire.
Goodness, you don't want to know about that.
No?
Yeah. I'd always, before I quit, I wiped my gun off good and took the bolt out and cleaned everything because we'd get dirt and mud in them, you know. And of course that night, why, it was so cold and all and cramped up, I didn't do that. And next morning we tacted, went into this house, and I had that M1 ready to shoot, you know. And I went into this house, and there was an overturned table there, and right behind it there was a German soldier. And he had his rifle point right in my face. And boy, I pulled the trigger on that M1, and it just clicked. It had didn't pick up a shell when counted some of that mud and stuff. And the old kid behind me, he shot him, saved my life right then. He shot through the table and shot him. And before that day was over, he got killed, so I didn't even get to thank him for
saving
what
your
he'd
life.
done. But yeah, that was inmate. They wasn't a day after that. I didn't clean my rifle before. Make no difference how crowded it was. I made sure there wasn't no mud in, nothing to pick up shells. But you could get killed so easy, you know. And if that boy hadn't been there, I would have.
Yep.
But and then he got killed.
When did you get injured?
When somewhere in that hedgerow country, in a sunken road, we were fixing to attack, and a shell hit in, and then most of them sunken roads had mud in them, you know. And this shell hit in that mud, I guess, and toned it down, because just a sliver hit me in the foot, right above the sole of my, and went in. I knew it was bleeding, you know, but we were attacked and I couldn't quit. And I didn't have sense enough to go the next day or anything, you know. 2 weeks later, though, my foot had swelled up till I couldn't get the boot off of it. And I had to go back then, and got back to a VAC hospital in a tent, you know. And since none of you's officers, I'll go ahead and tell this. Anyway, why, there was 2 lieutenants there. I guess there's doctors. Anyway, one of them looked at it and said, "We got to take it off. It's got gangrene in it." And you could have heard me plumb over here. I was pretty bad about cussing then. And you had taken my foot off. And there was a captain heard it. So he come over and looked, and he told him, said, "No, get you a bucket of hot water, just hot as he can stand. Fill it full of Epsom salt. Soak his foot till that comes to a head, then take that metal out." And that's what they done, and I've still got
Saved your foot. Thank you.
I done just what I had to do.
You did what you had to do, but look what you provided to all of us.
Yeah.
You provided us the opportunity to be able to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Yeah. That's what I told that little girl in that letter I wrote her, that I done it for her.
Yeah.
So that all of the kids could have a free world to live in. And that's what I think. I didn't do it for them plutocrats up there, but I guess they took credit for it anyway.
Well, we certainly appreciate what you've done. And like I said, without the men and women like you that have gone before us to provide this freedom, and the men and women since then that have continued to provide this freedom, we live in the greatest country in the world.
And it'd take every one of us to do it.
Right.
That World War II wasn't won by the infantry or the Air Corps. Of course, the Marines think they won it, but they had a little help.
Little help from their friends, huh?
Yeah.
I hope at 97 years old I could still ride a horse.
Well, you can. What kind of sole you got on your boots?
I don't know, but I don't know if they're gonna last long enough.
Well, next time if you're going to ride, buy you some with leather on that. I don't want to see you hanging up in that stirrup trying to get on.
And getting dragged upside down by a horse, right?
Yeah, that leather will slip, but
Yeah.
them won't slip.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good advice.